Good evening, everyone. Nice to meet all of you again. So every time today, at this date, at this hour, we are having our Once Upon a Time session. So today you see my dress up. Guess where am I bringing you now? Where are we going to visit? Yeah. So can you see my little hat here, right? So this cap. So this is actually, I think by now you should be able to know where I'm going to bring you tonight, right? So we are going to Vietnam. Xin chào. Okay. So we're going to Vietnam tonight. Yeah. So when we think about Vietnam, I don't know what sort of impression that you have. Okay. One of my journey that actually my very first time I visit Vietnam way back in 2016. That was my very first time. And you make a wild guess. Where do I visit? Okay. So can you guess out? And I spent, oh my God, 7 days in that destination. I didn't move to much places, just only stay there. So can you guess where do I visit? That is one of the prominent tourism products, and it's also one of the very popular UNESCO sites, and it's classified under the World Natural Heritage Site. So where is it? Ha Long Bay. So I went to Ha Long Bay way back in 2016. So I still remember, I was searching for how am I going to stay during the 7 days, in Ha Long Bay. So what shall I do? Okay. Actually, I went there. I was having my mission trip. It was my mission trip. Not only just going to study the Vietnam model as a visitor, and also I have another mission at that time. I have to attend an ASEAN meeting. So that meeting was held in Ha Long Bay. And I remember the journey, it took me, oh my God, 4 hours. Okay, from Hanoi, 2016, from Hanoi, the capital, city center, in the old quarters, all the way to Ha Long Bay, it took me 4 hours. And then I told myself, oh my God, that is another long journey. It doesn't seem to be far, but it's really long journey. So my first impression when I arrived in Ha Long Bay, and I was like a little bit like, wow. Okay, the impression is wow. And I still remember I was searching around, some experiences that since I'm going to stay there for 7 days, so I definitely need some experiences, not just only for the meeting purpose, but also for my traveling. Since I'm in the World Natural Heritage Sites, I'm very keen, to explore the World Natural Heritage Sites. So there was a few experiences. I actually spent my time in Ha Long Bay. Of course, I feel excited. Okay, some of the experiences I really enjoy a lot, but some of the experiences also give me, because I stay there for a week, so I really live like a local. So I don't just visit, go to the trip outside, but I also walking around, in the Ha Long Bay area. So I think the impression until I have today is one of the awesome experience, of course, the seafood. The seafood is so fresh, and the price is so reasonable. Yeah. And the people there actually, even though at that time I couldn't speak much of the Vietnamese language, but we do able to communicate. Because interesting about Vietnam is if you know some Chinese word or Chinese character pronunciation in some dialect, certain pronunciation, they are quite similar. I don't say exactly the same, but they do have some similarity. So sometimes I can guess, I try to guess what is it? Try to catch, So I think this is very interesting when you're traveling and you have no guide, and you're going to be there for 7 days trip. So you have to really adapt yourself quickly like the local people. So I try all kinds of morning breakfast, lunch, dinner, okay? But today my experiences is not to share you too much, about the food, but why Halong Bay had been inscribed, as a World Natural Heritage Site. And then as a visitor during that time, my visit, in fact, I didn't just visit Halong Bay once. 2016 was my first time, and I returning back again. I returning back was just before pandemic was happened, 1 year in 2019. 2019 early, I was there for the ASEAN Tourism Forum, and then I want to do a sharing is in 2016 when I was in Halong Bay, it's still a lot of rapid developments are ongoing, the processing. And you can see like Nest, because they are ready themselves, they wanted to host this ASEAN Tourism Forum once a year. Is a very important forum for all the ASEAN member states. So they want to hold it in 2019. So they were ready there. And they really delivered their promise, because 2019, when I visit again, the duration of the traveling time really shortened. So I think today, after the pandemic over, when we able to travel again, I think now you no need to suffer like what I did, because in 2019 the highway was ready. So it took you only 2 hours to arrive at the Halong Bay. So I still remember the first trip. Okay, the very first trip I went is 1 day tour, 1 day sightseeing. So I was like a bunch of the tourists. It's like a big mess. Everybody jump into the cruise, Then they will showcase you. Okay. So I was like curious about like why Halong Bay has become a World Natural Heritage Site. And then to be honest, during my very first experience on my first day, it's cool, because it's really telling you OUV number 7. Okay, if we understood like every UNESCO site, they have inscribed in the criteria. So for natural heritage sites, they have like OUV 7, and it fulfill OUV 7 and 8. So 7 is more on like a scenery, so really have awesome scenery. So I still remember during the cruise trip, the tour guide, the tourist guide was really awesome, because he used a lot of great imagination and keep telling me how the island, because if you understood, like Halong was the formation of many limestone. Okay, not only just caving, but it's the formation is like an isolated tower. So it looks like one island and one island and one island. And usually they don't have land. Basically, it's just a rocky. And they will just describe you on the imagination, the shape, and then from there they can make some great story, like some look like fighting cock, okay? And they will share you the story on like how the lifestyle. They are very great, the tourist guide, they related you back, to their local lifestyle. So they used to have like this fighting cock activity, how the lifestyle, how the villagers they stay, and of course they will have some mystery belief also. Later I will share you. So but one of the trip that I remember the most is actually my 2 days 1 night, the cruise trip. Because if you visited Halong Bay, if you don't do your cruise trip, it's something wrong. That's why when I first doing my Google and doing my searching, I was amazed, like wow, they have like hundreds of the tour operator operating the cruise, and you have a variety of choice, like from 12 passenger capacity and all the way up to 100 capacity. So you can have like small cruise, medium-sized cruise, and the bigger cruise. And I'm the kind of tourist that I never like crowded. Okay, I never like crowded. So I choose the one only have 6 rooms, because I feel I need some personal attention, and I like to have a small little group rather than with the big crowd of the people. And I feel like, one of the way to enjoy, the not just only the natural scenery, and I'm also very specific on the operator, how they run. I still remember I asked so many questions, like is the guide will explaining me like why the inscribed as a natural heritage site? Is it really showing me that why the OUV 7 and 8, the OUV means the outstanding universal value, 7 and 8 was inscribed in the Halong Bay. So I was very concerned, in the experiences. And then I'm glad that, to be honest, it took me 1 month for the research. Okay, 1 month for the research and 1 month, for connecting with the local tour operators. Ended up, the one I wanted to engage, it doesn't work. So I'm glad that, I'm really glad that sometimes the local people is really helpful. So I decided to sign up the 2 days, 1 night, the cruise trip. And in the end, I didn't go through the internet booking. Even though I used 1 month to do the research, I engaged my local operator. And how I found my local operator is actually because I already spent 7 days stay in Hanoi. So in the old quarters. So I was actually looking around, and in the end, I choose the small boutique hotel, and I find they are very responsible. So I decided that I engage the service, and I have no regret. Yeah. So they really provide me the good choice. So I show you one of my awesome experience, and it's a little bit adventure for me also. That's my first time. Yeah, have a look at the video.
We are at the Batu Bai Bay. We are in Batu Bai Bay. So today we are doing an activity kayaking, which is all the tourists will do that. So currently you can see this is the scenery. Wow. Okay, now we have fighting with the currents, and finally we already make almost 360 degrees one round and going to back to a small floating fishing village. So while we kayaking back, please enjoy the scenery in the World Heritage Sites.
Okay, welcome back. So just now you hear the sound that I made. Ooh, ooh. Actually, I'm fighting with the current. Honestly, I haven't tried kayaking in the open sea. As you know that actually Halong Bay is a huge area, and although it's a word bay and very close to the South China Sea, in fact, it's located to the South China Sea, right? So what happened was like it's when they told us kayak. So I thought I'm going to be like, usually we do kayak is like in the pond, in the lake, and looks the water quite calm. And I didn't expect like when my tourist guide who do the kayaking tour, and he actually like bring us to go one round, big huge round, and in between actually we are fighting with the currents. Yeah. So that's why I make some sound. Actually, I was scared. I was a little bit worried, and then I was a little bit worried also. And will this current pull me away, to somewhere? I think from that incident, I learned something. It's sometimes the guide briefing is very important, because I have this very cute local tourist guide. He is so funny. He's actually very jovial and very human. And what happened was he, when he run his tour, he always like, quick, 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 quick. Please save all our time. Why not we all shower together? And we were like, why we shower together? It's like, huh? Are we going to share the same bathroom and everybody going into the one big huge bathroom and shower together? Oh, then we realized that his English is interesting. He's trying to explain to us is, please make it a quick move. So we have more activity need to do. And if you can, you are couple or you're husband and wife, if you can, you shower together. Okay. But please trust me, okay? Inside the cabin, the toilet is actually quite small. There's no way you can shower together. But it's interesting. It's like, you see, even 2016, that was my few years back experience, but today I still remember shower together. Every time I would think of shower together, I think of my Halong Bay trip. And during the trip, besides the kayaking, then I realized, why they make us do the kayaking activity. Yeah, it's true, because if I want to appreciate the OUV, outstanding universal value, the criteria number 7, if I want to understand like what do they mean by a multitude of limestone islands and islets rising from the sea, and also how to see like many isolated, like a tower, like a small little tiny island, So when you do your kayaking, it's kind of like make you experience new experience. Rather than just listening, so you can actually kayak and go closer, and at the same time, do some exercise. And then reminds me now, it's like, wow, now we're talking about the whole pandemic, right? And we really need like some airborne. This virus is still come with the airborne, so we really need fresh air, airflow, and close to the nature. And then I like telling myself, like, yeah, it's a time that I need to go back for my kayaking again. I think this time I'm more fitter. Yeah, you can see from the video at that time my face, and today my face is a huge difference. Yeah, because I think at that time I was like 60 over kg. Now I'm just like within 50 kg. Okay, so there's a huge difference. Okay, and during that trip, I learned something from my that local guide also, because he is so multitask. My God, he's not just must know how to do the kayaking, and he even cook. He teaches how to do the roll. In Vietnamese food, one is the rice roll, the rice paper roll. So we have to make our own food, and then after that, at the night time, he will entertain us, with some songs, we play some game. And I still remember that night. Actually, at first I was quite sad. The reason why it's sad is, when you walk out, because we have to park all the crews, they have certain location, okay? For each operator, they have already managed to have some places for you to park your crews. And we were middle in nowhere, seriously. And we were lucky because that area only like 3 crews only. There were 3 cruises. And when I walk out, you know what I see? Oh my God, rubbish is everywhere. So I was like, why rubbish everywhere? So my mood was like, my momentum was quickly going down. And then I slowly understood it's like, sometimes can't help, because all this rubbish, it's come from the upland. And then because of the current, they will bring all this rubbish to everywhere. There is a possibility. Yeah. So even though you clean up now, the rubbish will come. When every time there is a current, because you have high tide, low tide, the currents come along. That's where the rubbish will come along too. So you just have to keep cleaning. I think from that experiences also I learned about, okay, if I want to really enjoy and appreciate this Mother Nature, I think as people in the planet, I have to look into reduce the rubbish. I can't say that we don't create rubbish. I must find a way to reduce the rubbish. And that night, it's also made me very something I remember until today. You know what I did? Because after the sad mood, I met the chef. So the chef, he actually off his work, and you know what he did? In the cruise, he was doing the fishing. Actually, what he did is he actually fishing squid. Yeah. So of course they have a gazetted area. Although this is a World Natural Heritage Site, but you have like cold zone. Okay, so maybe in the cold, I would say that when you inscribe in the cold zone area, you are not supposed to do any vandalism. You know, you're not supposed to do any activity that just mainly for visit sightseeing only. But in certain area which is not under the cold zone area, that's where you still can do like let the cruise to park and you can do some squid fishing. You know, actually it's not encouraged. Yeah, seriously, it's not encouraged. But that's why they don't put as a guest activity. But it happened to be I was awake and I didn't sleep, and I saw the chef was doing, so I was just curious. So I wanted to do the squid fish. Yeah, and that was another nice personal experience because the other guest was sleeping. So after we caught the squids, what we do? Oh my God, just freshly cooked. Just boil some water and just cook, and it's so sweet. And for your information, at that time I haven't turned into myself as a plant-based yet. Yeah, so I eat everything. Okay, and what happened was like that also made me realize, you know, the seafood, you know, why the natural is important to us, especially, you know, the water. Okay, the water, especially like underwater, because we need seafood. Yeah, that is part of our human food. Yeah. Although today I don't eat much already, I'm turning into the plant-based, but this is something I always, a good memory for me, something I always will remember. Yeah, okay, and I want to go into the next video. So there is another next activity that I did. I want to share with you. Have a look.
So first attraction in Halong Bay. So currently we're going to climb 100 steps up to the cave. We are entering the cave entrance now. So this is we are on our way to the seventh chamber. This is what the local will believe, that the stone look like a turtle or a tortoise, not just only give you the long life, but also brings you more money and make you richer. So that's the reason why you can see a lot of money from all over the world. Okay.
The long dress, yeah, beautiful, and the man, and here black suit. I don't know that black or gray. Yeah, and his body is here. That's a dragon prince.
Okay, so from this video clip, my sharing part is if you understand that why World Natural Heritage Sites are another criteria important for Halong Bay is actually for the OUV criteria number 8. That means it's the formation of land. Because over there, when you look at the whole Halong Bay site, it's processing a tremendous diversity of cave and other landforms. So that's why it's actually display the full range of the karst formation process. So it in short, it tells you it's already there for the maybe billions years. Because if we understood, like most of the limestone cave inside, you will see just now. Can you see like some lighting there? Colorful lighting, yeah. So these are the stalactite, stalagmite when we study our geography and we try to understand our landform, So we always learn about caving, why caving is important. And also they will share you about the human history, because as we know that every human being in the earlier stage, when we do not have the intelligence yet at the time, that know the technique, the knowledge, how to build a shelter. So we always live by the cave, right? So that is to share you some historical value, yeah. And interesting is also you can see like, do you know something that to grow a stalactite or stalagmite, it took how it's the length, okay? How much length to grow in a year? Anybody has any idea? So from the research already shown, yeah, answer is 1 millimeter. Oh my God. Okay, 1 mm. 1 millimeter to grow for a year. So can you just imagine, like these are like how many meter long? Okay, so those stalactite is the one who like hanging on the wall, and those stalagmite is actually grow up from the ground. Yeah. So they have called it like feng gong, feng ling, some of the terms. Yeah. So I think if when we as a traveler, so if we're going to visit some UNESCO sites, if we understood, okay, or we actually know the importance of the outstanding universal value, the criteria earlier, so at least when we arrive there, okay, when we visit the site, so we can actually, I would say that I really enjoy because I really do some preparation. And with the guide explanation, I think just now you hear about the tourist guide trying to describe and trying to share us about some local story, before being inscribed, what do people come to the cave and what do they do there? There is some local belief. There's always, I believe in many caves, these cavers in the any part of the world, they always share some local belief. Yeah, that's is make it the story is even like more interesting, and you understand their lifestyle. Okay, and then you can understand the point of view. Why the people believe in such a way. Because, for example, just now I show you the turtle or the tortoise is because of long life. Yeah, so that's why people like start, making a wish, throwing the money, which is I think we can find many some sites turning into the holy places in the natural site, especially the natural sites. Yeah, but I also want to share to you that I don't want to mislead you that this is the best model. Yeah, sometimes the management plan is very important for the UNESCO site. Like just now, you can see that like some lighting we put on, colorful. As a tourist, we really enjoy, isn't it? We really love it. Wow, photo. That is Instagram. That is what we normally what we will do. Yeah. But my story, actually, my message to you is that is not right. Because any lighting or any human touch, into this natural side, especially the touch by physical or even the clothes, okay, and textile, it could be generating some chemical reaction. And then this will affect the formations of the land also. It will give the negative impact. And also sometimes because of the capacity, if we do not control well, because we breathe in and breathe out, especially we breathe out is with the carbon dioxide, right? That it also will cause the disturbing for the formation. So sometimes when we go to, that's why I'm very careful when I'm choosing my natural sites to visit. I always wanted to know more, a little bit, details a little bit, and I try to understand the do's and don'ts. And included like how I select the guide and I select the tour operators as well. Yeah. So I do hope like today, the short hour sharing, half an hour as usual, that I always see you 8:30 p.m. every Friday for half an hour sharing for some my traveling experience. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the night with me, and looking forward to see everybody again next week. Bye. Happy weekend. And yeah, Malaysia is going for that. We are ready for our phase 3 and phase 2, and some already turned into phase 4, so we can do some natural science activity. But remember the do's and don'ts. See you. Bye.
We are at the Batu Bai Bay. We are in Batu Bai Bay. So today we are doing an activity kayaking, which is all the tourists will do that. So currently you can see this is the scenery. Yeah. Wow. Okay, now we have fighting with the currents, and finally we already make almost 360 degrees one round and going to back to a small floating fishing village. So while we kayaking back, please enjoy the scenery in the World Heritage Site.